IPv4. Let's just tell people there is no more right now, so that everyone will have to start using IPv6 now and not in few years when it runs out. But it wasn't accepted.
If we carry on the way we have been carrying on and keep on using the IP4 address space, where's it going to bite first? Who is going to feel the pinch first? Will it be the developing world or will it be the developed world? In your opinion?
Yeah, that is asking for the predictions in the future. So what will happen, the policy, there is a global policy now that deals with the IANA giving the blocks of address space to regional registries. When IANA comes to 5 last blocks of /8, they are going to give it to the 5 regional registries. So RIPE will have /8 and Afrinic will have /8.
But that's the very last slice of the cake.
Yes, yeah. And we run through that in, I'm looking at Alex, 3 months, and for Afrinic it will take much longer. So very wild prediction and maybe a good business opportunity is go open your company in Nigeria, and then you can receive the address space from Afrinic and then use it somewhere else in the world. But maybe that's what's going to happen. Other scenarios are that we will not run out of IPv4 addresses, we will just run out of free IPv4 addresses, as in free beer. Right now, you go to the regional registry, you ask for the address space, you get it, you don't have to pay extra. When we don't have any more, you will be able to go and get it somewhere else from people who do have it, but then they will want you to pay for it. So maybe there will be a black market. Other people say there is already a black market. So
yes, this is a slightly technical question. What was the idea of the auto-configuration protocol for IPv6 being engineered in such a way that all it can provide is basically just an address without any DNS information, without any other options, without even notifying me as the bastard operator who got this address? What was the idea?
I was not there when they came up with that idea, but maybe someone else wants to explain this. You've been volunteered.
Well, basically, it's the same thing as an Apple token IPX, and they don't have operators because they have no internet in those protocols, and they have no DNS, so they never needed that. So, but if you don't like it, you can use DHCP and IPv6 as well. Of course, your Mac doesn't support it, and probably will never.
Yeah, I was asking several providers for IPv6 support a couple of years ago, and the answer was everything no, there's no request. That's another story. Today, if you have more than, I think, 8 IP addresses, your block has to be an own entry in a RIPE database. Today, or since a couple of years, if you have your own IPv6 addresses, you get a /48 block. And you're also registered directly in a RIPE database. Not?
So the policy about IPv6 registration says that /48 blocks of any user, well, /48/56, assignments do not have to be registered in the RIPE database. They have to be registered in a database accessible to the RIPE NCC, not to the general public.
Okay, because the question was how is the privacy going on if every private person has its own database entry there?
Yeah, but
and the policy is different for the RIPE database for IPv6.
The policy is different. That doesn't mean that it is going to stay that way, but as it is now, that's the policy.
The blocks should be 32 or so, which are registered there.
Only the provider blocks are registered there, or the sub-allocations, like larger blocks that are given to larger organizations.
And normal companies, they also get a /48 block on also not included in the RIPE database, in the public RUIS database?
No, that is different. So the provider-independent assignments are registered in the RIPE database.
But the PA assignments not?
PA, provider aggregatable not, provider-independent yes.
Well, it's different to now.
Okay.
Fine, thank you.
Hi. There won't be private addressing in IPv6. Is there in IPv6 something to play with? Can I get unregistered addresses?
Unregistered private addresses in IPv6?
As we have in RFC 1918.
So,
192, 168. Is there such thing in IPv6?
No, there is no such thing as a separate block of addresses. There is a separate type of addresses in IPv6 which can be used for addressing the hosts that is not visible outside of your site.
What is the name for that type of block?
Site local? What is the name? I don't know. So the idea is that IPv6, the devices can have more than one address.
Okay, so there's a whole bunch of different kinds of addresses in IPv6. But these types, they used to be site local, where everybody had the same address block, just like the 10net in IPv4. But then the ITF decided, well, if everybody has the same addresses, that doesn't make sense. You don't know where the packet came from. So then they created something called unique site local addresses. So you do have your own block. You generate it with a random number. So hopefully nobody else uses the same block. But it is private, so you can't use it on the internet.
Thank you.
More questions?
Pronto. Couldn't be someone big, could be frightened by the mass adoption of IPv6. I mean, people behind the IPv4 NAT are bad P2P client, but when someone, many more people have access to a public IP, I mean IPv6. Big corporation, media publisher who are now frightened by P2P. There is maybe a lobby that are slowing down the max adoption of IPv6.
I'm not sure that I understood your question. Can someone repeat the question, or I don't? Can you rephrase it?
Okay, I wonder if behind the slow mass adoption of IPv6, maybe a lobby that are frightened, that many more people than now could be having access to public internet. Now they are behind the NAT, so they are bad P2P clients. Okay, I don't know if I made it better, Claire.
Yeah, I don't know if that is the case. It's a nice conspiracy theory, but I don't think that is the reason for the slow adoption of IPv6. I'm part of them, yes.
No more questions?
If there are no more questions, thank you